And everybody, welcome to the podcast again. For some reason, I decided to take another break. It's just, guess putting these things together kind of, they take a lot of effort. I think I did release a podcast on iTunes, an episode where I had my boy Ants and I had Ty, and that one was pretty good. It was a lot of fun. We went over. It was just a little. It was our first one as a group together, so hopefully we can get more of those done because that one was a lot of fun. And yeah, so over the weekend I had saw there was a UFC that happened. I think it was the main event ended up being John Jones. John Jones. What the hell am I saying? Anderson the Spider Silva versus Israel Adesanya, and it was a pretty entertaining fight to watch. But it was mostly entertaining just because Anderson Silva was in the octagon again, and you know what? When I saw Anderson Silva, and I remember when this dude was young. And I can't believe this man is still trying to do this, but props to him. He put on a good show. He went the whole fight, all 3 rounds. There was not it was a pay-per-view, I think, and there was no title fight. That one was a little strange. It was a little odd, but it was still fun to watch nonetheless. The reason it wasn't a title fight is because I forgot if it was Gaslam that backed out because of a hernia, which I can only imagine how much that might hurt, but let's see. So, MMA. Here we go. Mixed martial arts. Yeah. So, it was supposed to be Well, I guess this is okay. It updated it, so it was. Yeah, so it was Robert Whitaker versus Gaslam, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I probably sound like such an idiot right now. Um, Gosh, I can't believe I can't find the news feed on it. But anyways, there was the main fight was pulled out. Yeah, it was Robert Whitaker versus. It was supposed to be Robert Whitaker versus Gaslam, and that fight fell through because Robert Whitaker got a hernia, and I bet that hurts like hell. But I've never had a hernia because I don't really do that much athletic things anymore. But yeah, I bet I've had a friend who has had a hernia, which I guess that makes me qualified to talk about hernias. No, but really, that would have been entertaining to watch too, because obviously, anytime a fight is for the belt, anytime it's for a title, it's more entertaining to watch. But what was entertaining to watch, other than these fights, is I was watching all these press conferences for UFC 236, which was if everything goes to plan, we're gonna have John Jones versus Anthony Smith. Why did it go to that one? What the heck? We had John Jones versus Anthony Smith, Tyron Woodley versus Kamaru Usman, Robbie Lawler versus Askren. So this is already a really good, very stacked main card. So that's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. I think a lot of MMA fans and UFC fans are excited to see what Ben Askren's gonna really do in the UFC, because he spent most of his career in other championships, mainly in ONE FC or ONE Championship, and with his record, I think he's 19-0 or something like that, and he's I don't know. Rogan has talked about, he's had him on his podcast before, and he just gives him high praise because he's just such a strong wrestler. So I'm excited to see Ben Askren finally get his chance in the UFC. It's I don't know. It seems like a lot of fun to watch. And then obviously he actually, you guys need to look it up. You look it up on YouTube. Just look up UFC 235 like press conference, and then there's actually was an altercation that was caught on camera between Ben Askren and Kamaru Usman, where I guess Askren knew Usman from like long time ago. They used to train together or whatever, and I guess his name, I guess Kamaru Usman, he used to go by Marty, and I guess he doesn't like that anymore. So Askren, I don't know if he was talking smack. I mean, I guess it does kind of seem like he was, but he's like, "Am I sitting next to Marty?" And then all of a sudden, it's just Kamaru Usman gets in his face, and Ben Askren, who was dressed like a dad, going to like a dad father daughter dance. That's what he was dressed like, and he was wearing sandals. He like, I gotta give it up to him. He wasn't like scared or anything. If anyone gets in my face, I promise you, I'm afraid. I'm about to poo myself. So yeah, I'm not a fan of confrontation. So I mean, Ben Askren, obviously, well, they're fighters. They're used to confrontation all the time, but yeah, Askren, he made a good point. I mean, they're paid to go fight inside of a cage and beat each other up, and that's what they do. So did he really think that Usman was gonna fight him in the hallway? Or in the tunnel before they got to the conference? No, of course not. He was just he's just acting like a tough guy, and he really called him out on his bluff. But one of my favorite things about the whole press conference, other than the music was freaking, like, it just got me pumped. Like, I could work out to that music, the intro music to the whole thing. It was just exciting to watch. But other than the music, that I was really excited about was or that really got me, excited, was when Tyron Woodley and Kamaru Usman were like going at it. It was like they were just going back and forth and just arguing with each other, and I don't know. It's like they had good comebacks, and it was really intense to watch, and we're gonna see them fight on March 2nd. So that's gonna be, I cannot wait to watch that fight. If I work that day, I'm gonna be so pissed. But it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. The March 2nd, we're stacked. Cody Garbrandt is fighting against Munoz. What else? We have just so many fights, And then in the press conference, someone had asked Dana White if anyone had reached out to McGregor about fighting Cowboy. Everyone wants to see that. I want to see that really, really bad, because Cowboy has had the most wins in the UFC history of the world, or whatever, and obviously Conor McGregor, he just got off a loss to Khabib Nurmagomedov, and he got suspended because of the whole situation that happened, of people fighting after the fight, and so to see. That's a much better comeback for McGregor if he would come back and fight and fight Cowboy, instead of trying to fight Khabib again, because I think Khabib dominated him so much that it's just like, well, do we really need to see that shit again? Like, I don't think so. I think we're fine. What we want to see is like Khabib versus somebody else, someone of a more worthy opponent. I think it's funny because in the press conference for 235. Askren was like, "Oh, I would love to fight Khabib. Could you imagine Russia versus USA again?" And he said that he'd get on his back and chant USA. So it's like, whoa, that's a lot of, yeah. Askren he's coming to play. I'll tell you that right now. He's coming to play and promote, and he knows the game. He's been doing it for years, I guess. I don't know. Like, again, I don't know much about Askren other than the fact that Joe Rogan has raved about him and said that he's like one of the best, and I know that he's undefeated, and let's see how he does in the UFC. Now in the NBA, quickly, the Celtics have fallen apart, and I have no hope for them anymore. They're finished, and they're through, and whatever. I'm kind of over it. I'm at that point where I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. It's not. I'm not gonna let this affect my health in any way. So I kind of gave up on basketball, not basketball, but I kind of gave up on rooting for the Celtics this season. The Lakers, they were doing really bad, and now they think they're really good because they beat the Celtics by 1 point. Which a win is a win. I will give them that. A win is a win, but like it's not like I don't think it was that exciting. I mean, it was an exciting. It just showed that you got that the Lakers and the Celtics match up very well, and then the Lakers have LeBron James, which they shouldn't balance out that well. If you have LeBron James, you should be significantly better. So yeah, obviously we're getting close to the middle of the season, and then everyone's just like I said at the beginning of the season, everyone's gonna be like, LeBron James is gonna need more help. He needs more help. And that's why they did this whole fiasco of them chasing after Anthony Davis or whatever. But yeah, it's just like goodness. Let's see. I don't know why I only have Celtics Lakers news right now. Anthony Davis, I guess he's on the trading block, but however, like the Pelicans are just so hesitant to trade him. So I don't know. What else, man? Like, honestly, like I haven't really been paying too much attention to basketball just because I've been watching more of the UFC, and I don't know. It was just more exciting for me to watch fighting than it was for me to watch basketball in this case. And I was also like, I'm busy kind of working on my comedy right now. If you guys don't know, Tuesdays at the Hideaway in downtown Riverside, I'm performing in open mics. I'm trying out material. I'm trying to work things out. And on Thursdays, when the weather's nice, at the Getaway in by UCR, and that is at 9 p.m. And that one, I went up last week, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. I like performing there. There was no audience. It was basically nothing but comedians, but it was a lot of fun. And it was very worth going there at 9 o'clock and being tired the next morning. But yeah. What else do we got? So those open mics are actually brought to you by a company that's actually been putting these things together, and I feel like they deserve a shout out. And I'm not trying to kiss ass here, but I just do, because I bet it takes a lot of effort to be putting together an organized open mic so people aren't fighting each other, and it's got to be a lot of hard work. So the Buddy System Company, check them out on Instagram. They're right now they're putting together these shows. They're putting together these open mics, and it's been a lot of fun. And if it wasn't for people doing that, I wouldn't have anywhere to try out material. So, oh my goodness, over the week I saw the most ridiculous thing. Oh man, I didn't hit record on this damn thing. Your boy's an idiot. All right. Oh well. So, anyways, I saw the trailer for Hobbs and Shaw. Hobbs and Shaw. Oh my goodness, why even continue? Like, when I first saw the trailer, I was just like, why is this even being made? You know, like it starts off like it's just so ridiculous, and Idris Elba's in it now. And why are these, like, I get it, like they're just now they're just banking on the whole ridiculousness of the situation, you know. Now they're just going crazy. This whole Fast and the Furious universe that they're deciding to create, it's freaking crazy. It's annoying now though, because it's like, all right, like, you know what's sad though, and I will say this about this Fast and the Furious universe that's being created, this world that for some reason it has to happen, it's better than DC. All right, because DC has not put out like a decent film since, like, I don't know, since the Christian Bale Batman movies. Right, the more I watch DC movies, the more disappointed I am. I really am. But this Hobbs and Shaw movie, which is just, all right, what it is it's like it's a plot that's so freaking predictable that it's kind of funny, right? Because it's like what The Rock or whatever, Hobbs, yeah, that's his name in the movie, Hobbs. from Fast and the Furious. They go up against Shaw, which is Jason Statham, and you know the whole movie they're trying to look for each other, and then they find each other, and then now they have to be partners with each other because the best team has to be assembled again. And it's like, oh, all right, it's like this every single time. This it's no different than the Fast and Furious, except this movie it's not about the cars this time. Which, let's be real, the past few movies, the Fast and Furious movies, have not been about the cars. I remember when these movies used to be about just street racing, and they went in the total other direction. Who knows where the hell they're going next? But Idris Elba, let me just go ahead and put it like this, is a superhero. He's a super villain in this freaking movie, in Hobbs and Shaw, and they're just trucks are crashing in through buildings and cars are flying through freaking space, and The Rock is freaking throwing out one-liners left and right, and Jason Statham is like freaking British as hell, and he's like kicking ass and all that stuff, and it's just some sort of gigantic pissing competition between Hobbs and Shaw. And at the end, since they're not friends, they play a song. Why can't we be friends? So it's like exciting. You see the exciting, and it's kind of funny. And I'm like, no, I don't want no. Why are we doing this? Why? No, that's enough. Nope. And then next thing you know, towards the end of the trailer, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to watch this shit. That's what trailers do, man. They like it. First of all, you're like, whatever. No, I get it. I don't understand why you're doing it, but I know why you're doing it. But like, and then you're like, it's so ridiculous. I'm not gonna watch it. The movie looks stupid, And then towards the end, you're like, I mean, I guess I can maybe watch it. And then towards the end, you're like, damn it. Now I'm talking about it. Now I have to watch it. Damn it, this sucks. This is crazy, right? So that's Hobbs and Shaw. That was like what I got from the whole damn movie trailer. And then during the Super Bowl, I was expecting a better, like, by the way, I missed the Super Bowl. And by missed the Super Bowl, I was at work, and a lot of people were saying that I didn't really miss a thing anyway. So I was like, all right, whatever then. But I missed the Super Bowl, and a lot of people are like, oh, when I watched the commercials on Super Bowl, you know what? Honestly, I don't feel like I missed those either. Right? Because they haven't been that. They've been like on a steady decline. I think the last good Super Bowl commercial was one from way back in the day, back when I was probably still in high school. And that one was it was a Bud Light commercial, and there was there was a helicopter, and then well, not a helicopter, like in a plane or something, and they were like trying to skydive, two guys, and he's like, I don't know if I can do it. And then the guy that's like urging him to jump out of the plane, he's like, would you do it for some Bud Light? And then he throws it out of the window, or he throws it out of the plane. And then they just look at each other like they're about to jump. And then the freaking pilot from nowhere comes out from the cockpit and just jumps out after the freaking Bud Light. And the whole room was just dying of laughter when we saw that commercial. That was probably the last good Super Bowl commercial. And I'm telling you, that one was a long time ago. So, and no, I don't remember who was playing, but chances are the Patriots were playing again. So, I will say that. But, yeah, that one was probably the last good Super Bowl commercial that I paid attention to. So, but what has been happening is they'll have really good movie spots, for the Super Bowl. So, there was one for the Avengers, and it was like a teaser of a teaser. Like, it was so quick. It was like 15 seconds long. It didn't really show much. I mean, a lot of people, there's a lot of people on YouTube that you can find where they break down frame by frame, and I'm like, you guys have way too much time under your hands, which is good though. That's good for them. They get to do that. I unfortunately can't. I mean, if I could, I would, honestly. If that was my job, they're like, yeah, you can break down these films frame by frame and try to figure out what's going on and see if you can guess, because people can't be patient You know, I mean, doing that job is probably really good, right? Where you just determine what might be happening in the background of a trailer of a superhero movie, because people are like, I can't wait. Like, we're like meth heads, but with movies. You know, we can't wait. Like, I remember back in the day when we would get a trailer and that's all you would get. If you missed anything in between, you missed it. Screw it. Just wait until the movie comes out, and then you'd have to watch the movie. Nowadays, we have people breaking them down, play by play, like we're watching a freaking football game. But I mean, like, again, that's just me saying, like, I would love something like that, but I don't. But anyways, yeah, that Hobbs and Shaw movie was freaking ridiculous. It was so. By the way, I'm not gonna watch that shit. I'm just saying, just to put it out there. But like, I don't think I'm gonna watch that movie. I mean, I get it. Like, it's an action movie, and the action movies nowadays are just gonna be ridiculous, I guess. And it's not like the action movies from back then. Because you know what movie I did watch recently that's on Netflix? I watched Terminator, the first one, the one with Arnie, and a bunch of actors who are not acting anymore. You would think Arnold Schwarzenegger should just kind of take the hint and be like, okay, it's time to hang up the freaking Terminator suit or whatever the hell it is that they use, right? Because apparently he's coming back to do another one. Crazy, all right? I don't know why. But again, it's just like, now that they're like, oh, now that we have technology, we can make these movies better. But the first Terminator movie was god awful. Oh my goodness. There's this scene, and I will never forget this scene, because back when I was little, it used to scare the guts out of me. It used to scare me, right? It was when Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, is operating on himself, and he has to take the cornea out of his eyes, and that's the first time that you see like the red beam come out of one of the eyes, and you know that he's like an android or whatever. Well, you know that he's an android, but the first time that you're like, oh snap, that's crazy. And it looks so fake, unbelievably fake, everyone. Like, it looks like you can tell that it was a robot because it does the same motions. So they're using animatronics in this scene, and it looks, I mean, it's impressive that they were able to make that with robots or puppets, whatever it was that they were using. But it was so ridiculously bad. You know, it makes Transformers movies look like real movies. You know, it makes it look like we're actually seeing Transformers in real life. Wow. Yeah, that movie was bad. And then like they're up to 6 of those movies now. If this one follows through, the new one that's coming out, yeah. So it's too much. And you know what other movie is amazing? Just because of one scene, I could watch this scene every day for the rest of my life, and it'll make me happier every single day. I could use it like coffee, and it's Predator. Oh my goodness, that scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger sees Apollo Creed for the first time. I don't know his real name. I just know him as Apollo Creed. But they basically arm wrestle in midair, and it's like they shake each other's hands. It's like the handshake that shook the whole world. Oh my goodness, it's such a good. And I would advise you guys to look it up on YouTube and read the freaking comments. There's stuff like people who were saying stuff like, oh, their biceps just broke my screen and stuff. I don't know. It's so hilarious. People are so creative, and I love it. But yeah, Predator. It is just like, oh man, just that movie was ridiculous. For I think it was the 80s when that movie came out. And those were action movies back then, and they were just ridiculous for other things, like, because they would do cheesy things in the movies. I remember seeing RoboCop, you know, the original one, where Red Foreman's the bad guy. Yeah, that's right, Red Foreman. I don't know his real name either, but you know who I'm talking about if you watch that 70s show. But yeah, he's the bad guy, and they're shooting they're firing from the hip these giant sniper rifles. They're like, I don't know. It looks ridiculous. They just have these giant guns, and they're like, this is the only thing that could take down RoboCop. And they look stupid because they're running around with these gigantic guns with barrels that are like 20 feet long. And yeah, it just looks ridiculous. And those are the movies that we used to watch back then. We used to watch them and be like, oh, wow, that looks so real. And nowadays, it's like, if you were to watch those movies now, you're like, it looks unreal. oh my gosh, it's unbelievably not real. So yeah. So I'm not gonna watch Hobbs and Shaw just because I mean the graphics look amazing. I mean compared to the Terminator and to Predator and RoboCop, the graphics aren't bad, right? But they also it's just too ridiculous. They're just all right. You had a world with normal people, and the whole thing was just to run away from police. Basically, get away with crimes because you drive super fast, and you just made people into superheroes. Like basically, Idris Elba after this movie's over is probably gonna be in the world of Fast and the Furious, and then freaking Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel is gonna be like Captain America in these movies. It's crazy. What are we doing? Like, I think it's time to pump the brakes on this stuff and just kind of just be like, all right, how about we make good movies? You know, I bet you they throw that person out of the window. It's like, how about we make a good movie? I don't know, but anyways, that's where I'm gonna end it today. If you guys are in Riverside, remember in downtown Riverside, the Hideaway Cafe at 8 p.m. is where I'll be doing. I'll be working out material, and also 9 p.m. by UCR at the Getaway. All right, everybody. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys do good. Peace.